Biff, hi, Robert Cavuto from Metal Rules. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. I truly appreciate it.
No problem.
We've spoken before over the last couple of years, and I've always enjoyed speaking with you. Thanks. And the CD's killer.
We have spoken before.
Yes.
Pardon?
Yeah, the new CD's killer. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you like it.
I do. I always liked everything you did since I was a kid.
Cool.
You know, you really used your time wisely during the pandemic with performance videos, a staged show, a Saxon Best of CD, a solo CD with your son, and now this new studio CD. Would you consider this to be, these last 2 years, to be your most productive time ever?
I suppose it is, actually. I think it's up there with 1980, where we did 2 albums in 1 year and another album the year after. Yeah. I think it's very productive. I'm not really one for relaxing too much.
Yeah.
so yeah. I mean, my solo album came out first, and you know, we were doing writing with the band as well.
Yep.
Songs for the next album. So we started recording the album maybe 2 years ago. I mean, the album should have come out the end of 2019 was the plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, once COVID hit, sort of shortly after I'd been in hospital with my heart pain.
Right.
I think March 2019, I think, it sort of started.
Okay.
So yeah, we recorded the drums in Germany, and we had them around for a while, then the bass, and then we didn't do much at all then until the middle of the COVID, and then we did the guitars, Andy Sneap's place, and then I did some guitars here at my studio and did the vocals. So yeah, the actual album was spread out over 2 years, but we didn't really spend a lot of time on it, if you know what I mean. We were doing other things. So I wanted to do this Inspirations album,
Mm-hmm.
and the record company asked us to do an album in between, so we had something to release. So we came up with the idea of Inspirations, really.
Yeah, no, that was a great CD.
Yeah.
You know, we spoke...
Once that was done, then... sorry.
No. Yeah, when we spoke in 2020, you had mentioned to me that you had 11 songs written for the CD. How did it work out with, you know, and you've also told me too that there's a lot of the members scattered across Germany. Nibbs is in Germany and most of the other guys are in the UK. How did you guys work it out? You know, were you using Zoom? Were you sending files? How did it, you know?
Well, Nigel recorded the drums before COVID, basically.
Okay.
So he went over and did the drums on the basic tracks without any vocals or lyrics or anything on them. Just really the songs that we arranged roughly. Mm-hmm. And Nigel got the drums down before COVID. Nibbs did the bass as well, and then we just put that on the shelf then until we were able to work again. You know.
Yeah.
So I suppose we did the Inspirations in the middle of that, and then I did the album with my son again. Which is obviously the last release that we did, I did with him. So yeah, I mean, I've been pretty busy actually.
Yeah.
Probably more busy than the band. Yeah. So yeah, it seems as though you know, we've released a lot of stuff in the last 2 years, and I suppose we have really.
Yeah.
You know, but I like to be busy, and I mean, the band. You know, we rehearsed the Inspiration stuff, and then we recorded it together, you know, in a sort of bubble. Mm-hmm. But I think the band should be together playing and rehearsing. I don't think we should just, you know, go away and not see each other for 2 years. That's a little bit too far, I think.
I agree. You know, when most bands are slowing down releasing CDs every 3 to 4 years, you know, you've been very consistent throughout the years, even before the pandemic, of putting out something every, you know, year and a half year. Tell me about the importance of giving your fans Saxon music regularly.
Well, I think it's important to keep the flow rolling along, you know, and doing things that are interesting for people to listen to and to read about. You know, I think that's the key. I think keeping people sort of on board, really.
Yeah.
You know, focused on what you're doing, and I like to have surprises. I don't like people to think they know what we're doing, and I don't like being too predictable. So, you know, releasing a covers album the way that we did it, you know, just inspirations, songs that inspired us or bands that inspired us was a totally unique idea, I think. Spanning, you know, the years that we spanned with it. I know there have been other cover albums, but this one's slightly different the way we did it in the big house.
Yeah.
You know, like the 70s. So the whole package was a bit unique, if you know what I mean.
No, that's great.
I think we had great fun making that, and it was really intense. I think we made it in about 14 days.
Oh wow.
So it was great. It was great, really. And you know, and then the Heavy Water album. You know, Step had some songs. I had some songs. We did some stuff together. You know, it really. You know, I wasn't really in charge of that album like I am with Saxon. I think Seb was more upfront with the Heavy Water album than me, really.
Mm-hmm.
So he was playing guitar on all the tracks, and I was just playing bass and singing, really. But so he was like the main sort of driving force behind that album, which is why it's not like Saxon, you know.
Yes.
So people go, "Oh, it's really great, but it's not like Saxon." I'll go, "Well, yeah, that's the whole point."
Right, why would I put a solo album that sounds like Saxon?
Rewriting Battering Ram or something and calling it Heavy Water.
Right.
You know, so I think it has to be different. That's the whole point.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, the title, Carpe Diem, of the new CD, tell me about the importance of seizing the day and how the mantra coincides with Saxon's longevity. It's got to be like, 45, 50 years already.
Yeah, I think that song was written quite late on.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm saying song, I mean I put the melody and the lyrics on it quite later on. I think I got Nibbs to change a few things. I think most of it's Nibbs' idea musically, the parts, you know. So I changed a few parts and made it fit my ideas, really. I just thought Seize the Day was a great title, Carpe Diem.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great, especially for these days, with everything going absolutely, to the wall. I think it's good. You know, I think people have that. Let's try and get through this. Let's seize the day, basically, and it's a good motto, I think.
No.
So I just think it worked for the title track and the album title. Obviously the song's inspired by me visiting the old Roman wall up in the north of England that stretches across from coast to coast,
Right.
From 2,000 years ago. So I think I sort of locked onto that and used that as the basis of the song, and the metaphor of Seize the Day is very strong. Yeah.
I agree. You know, I think there's a lot of strong riffs on this CD. I think very reminiscent of maybe some of the music that you put out in the 80s, particularly Remember the Fallen, which has a Power and the Glory type of vibe. Can you tell me about that one's creation?
Well, generally, I wanted the riffs guitarists to become important again on this album. I think a lot of bands just, not a lot of bands, but a lot of music is just like rhythm-based these days. I just wanted to bring the riffs back. So my sort of brief for the guitar boys and obviously Nibbs was like, come at them with some great guitar riffs, faster the better, play on the edge, get it going, give me a song, and I think that works on this album. There's some great guitar riffs.
Yes.
And I think, a lot of the ideas that I had started when I heard the guitar riffs, So the vocal and the guitar riff were the main aspects of the sound back then, I think.
I agree.
So I think we've gone back to a little bit of that emphasis on the guitar riff. Not that there aren't any guitar riffs on sort of Thunderbolt, because there are.
Yes.
But I think on this album, I think there's a lot more emphasis on the guitar riff and the way that it's played, which is quite aggressive and on the edge.
Yeah, I love that.
Remember the Fallen? Yeah. Remember the Fallen is very sort of 1984, 85. That sort of thing. It's quite an easy song to play, and it's quite an easy song to sing. It's one of those songs that lends itself to a lot of melody. And the subject matter is quite sort of, not quite so light. But, I like that style of Saxon playing, in that sort of, rhythm riff, basically, is what we call them.
Yeah.
It's not really a single string riff, it's a rhythm riff. I do like that song. I didn't know if I liked it or not. And it was on the B list for a long time. And then I wrote the lyrics to it. And then I thought, I quite like that. We'll put that on the album.
I think that's what attracted me to Saxon when I was learning how to play guitar and in cover bands. It was riff based. I could understand what you were doing, and it translated well to me, not only lyrically but musically. I think some of the music nowadays, it's getting too progressive. They're trying to put notes and fill every beat and measure with some form of instrumentation. But your songs manage to live with the guitar riff, and that's a very powerful approach. And kudos to you for doing that.
Well, I think because I'm a big prog fan. I like prog music.
Okay.
And I think on maybe a couple of albums, more recent albums, we have gone quite proggy, just because we could, But I think quite a lot of people go proggy because it's in. Because prog music came back really strong. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of bands sort of went a bit proggy because it was like popular.
Yeah.
A bit proggy. So I've gone the other way with this album. I've gone away from the prog and more onto the heavier side and a bit more aggressive side, less. Although there are some quite nice bits in the middle of, maybe in Grey or in Supernova. But I wouldn't exactly call them prog.
No. I wouldn't
just say they were like intervals of rest between the next powerful riff.
Yeah, no.
So we're just giving your ears a rest before the next onslaught. So I think we moved away from the proggy thing. We did go a little bit proggy. On maybe the last two albums, there's been some prog elements in there, definitely.
Okay.
But this one, no. I think that sort of. I think for us now, that prog sort of our prog era is over.
I get it.
If you know what I mean.
I do.
I've gone back to a more basic, aggressive way of the boys playing guitar, really, and straight to the point, straight in your face. I think that's why a lot of people think it reminds them of an 80 album, because it's straight in your face. There's no sort of orchestra parts in there, or long different dance sequences are changing. So it's pretty much a British metal album, really.
No, that's great, and that's what I love about it. Tell me a little about your fascination with history and religion, as it's been a mainstay in Saxon's lyrics for as long as I can remember.
Well, history and religion are the same thing. Let's face it. Anything that happened in history is usually connected to a religion of some sort. So the two things go hand in hand. War and religion. I'm not saying that in any sort of bad sense, but it's just if you like history and you're a bit of a history buff, then if you're reading about something, there's But I like history. I think it's really fucking interesting. I think that's what really grabs me. And there's always something new, that I'm learning or reading about or watching on TV. There's always something, that's there that was an absolute, changed the world forever, or something that's been discovered that nobody knew about. So I just like that, I like that. I mean, we could do a prog concept album based on some historic thing. Definitely we could, but we haven't. But so it just interests me, and I think a lot of rock fans are into it as well. The whole sort of history thing. I just love working in that sort of that medium. It's great.
Do you have a favorite period of time that you really love the historical aspect of?
Not really. I like all history actually, whether it be Egyptian, Roman, medieval, Second World War. Because let's face it, after it's happened, it's history. Well, it might have happened 3 days ago, and now it's history. So there's a lot of things you can write about. And it's just better than writing your usual rock and roll lyrics.
I agree.
I always find that it's being done that too much.
I agree. When I was listening to the CD, I was wondering.
And also a lot of our mates up here, Maiden write quite historic songs as well. So I don't think it's unique to Saxon.
No.
There are a few bands that do this, and I suppose us and Maiden are probably the sort of the most prolific at it.
Yeah. There's a band called Sabaton that I was just recently came across that does that too. They write all their songs are about historical lyrics. From the wars. Like
They probably ripped us and Maiden off, aren't they? I think they haven't got tanks and castles on stage. So, we haven't done all that before. But anyway, they're a good band, Sabaton, they're alright.
Yeah.
I know the lads, they're good.
Yeah. Very nice guys.
Make an name for themselves,
True. And they were opening up for Judas Priest right before Richie Faulkner had his operation, his heart issue. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do know the boys. I've played with them many times.
Good.
They're a good band, actually, yeah. But they are sort of a newer version of Saxon Maiden in the fact that they write about. I mean, a lot of this stuff's about war, whereas a lot of sort of my stuff, tends to be a little bit. I do war songs, but it's like Age of Steam, Carpe Diem, that sort of thing. It's not really all based on battles or war, if you know what I'm saying.
Right, I do. I get it. I was listening to the CD and I had to think to myself, does Saxon have a vault of unused songs from the 80s? And if so, would you ever consider tapping into that vault of those unused songs for releases?
No, we don't have any.
Really?
Unfortunately, we don't have any. What we have been released by ex-members, that had cassettes and things stuffed in their pockets. So everything that was done is out there. Because don't forget, back in the day, we were writing and releasing so quick,
Yeah.
It was like, write a song, that'll do, put it on the album, write a song. I mean, luckily, the songs back then were great. It could have been awful because we didn't have any time to, listen to them or check them out or anything really. We just wrote a song and, then wrote another song. And as soon as we got to 10 songs, that was it, we made the album. It was very like, production line, the word, the management record company wanted us to work.
Yeah.
There was no, it was just raw, I don't know, just raw talent, I suppose. It was just straight from the heart.
True.
We just wrote what we felt. I wrote my lyrics, what I was thinking about at the time.
Yes.
I suppose we still do that, we still do it. I mean,
Right.
or the essence of that writing, gang back then. So, there is still a spirit in there of where we came from, and Glockler's still around. He was there for Power and the Glory and stuff like that. I think there's, musically, there's still a connection.
I get it.
With those early songs. But no, we don't have any, I don't think I even have any song titles from back then that I had. Although I'm always writing things down in my book or on my phone now, usually.
Mm-hmm.
If I get an idea,
That's fascinating. I didn't know that. You've been around for so long, Saxon. At what point did you guys start to reap the financial benefits of your success?
I don't think we ever did.
Wow.
To tell you the truth, I don't think I can ever remember having a big fat check. I think you have to remember that we in sort of 83, around the Power and the Glory time, is when we really started to break America.
Yep.
And I think something happened with the record company at that point. And I think we were touring with Maiden. It was like a pretty big tour. And then halfway through, it sort of stopped. So I don't really know what happened. Maybe because you had to buy on the tours back then. I don't know. Something happened and we were taken off. And I think Fastway moved up the bill and somebody else was on before then. So I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of political talking going on behind the back. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's people that do say that Bruce had me kicked off because he didn't like he didn't like the way we were going down. But I don't know if that's true or not. But it has been said. But I just think that at that point there, at Power and the Glory, we could have broken America quite big. We should have broken America on Wheels of Steel, but that was a French company, and they didn't really know what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah.
Crusader was the first headline tour we did of America, and that was with Accept Sportsman, which was very, very successful. But I just think that for some reason the Wheels of Steel, the Strong Arm, the Laws, and the Denim and Leathers didn't really have enough momentum in America as Maiden's albums did for some reason. I just think it's down to management and record company, because I think Denim and Leathers, Strong Arm of the Law are just as good as Unleash the Beast, the Number of the Beast, you know what I mean?
I agree. And Power of the Glory is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a lot of American people, it's their favourite album. It's the first time they ever saw some of them.
Yeah.
And it's the first time we got airplay, MTV and I think we were in the Billboard charts at some point with Power and the Glory, and the tour was, absolutely massively successful. It was a British package, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, it was a great tour to be on. But I just think that whether it was our manager that decided we could do it on our own, or something happened, and it just sort of didn't quite take us far enough, if you know what I mean.
I do. Saxon never had a mascot either.
Los Angeles, but we didn't do anywhere else.
Yeah. Saxon also never had a mascot. Sometimes that has a appeal to it, like Eddie.
Well, we had the Eagle, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we did take the Eagle on the Crusader tour. It was there, and we were doing quite big gigs. Big gigs really. It was quite a big tour we did on Crusader. It just wasn't very long. You know what I mean?
I get it.
And some states in America we were massive, and other states we couldn't pull bacteria. And that's the problem. I don't think we had the record sales in America that everybody else had, if you know what I mean.
I do. I get it.
So I don't think we had that big check.
My band at the time was playing.
We didn't. What I'm saying is, Power and the Glory didn't sell 1 million albums in America when we were there. And I think if it had done, then that would have given us the power to go on and to get quite a lot of money. But
Yeah, my band at the time.
I think it was set up for.
My cover band at the time was promoting.
People to make money. Pardon?
My cover band at the time was heavily promoting your songs. We were out with Power and the Glory, Red Line, Denim and Leather.
Yeah.
For instance, we were out there.
I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying we weren't popular. I'm just saying that just the power seemed to go out on that tour, and I think that at that point there we could have broken America.
I got it.
Power and the Glory could have been a platinum album, definitely.
I get it. You're going to be touring. You're going to be touring anytime soon with these new variants of COVID coming out. Is there?
Well, we've got this tour together of America with Uriah Heep.
Okay.
That's being planned.
Good.
So it's Uriah Heep, Saxon Uriah Heep, and somebody else on. So that's what's being planned for April, May, I think.
Oh, good.
But it's like everything with planning. It's COVID. But to wait and see what's happening with COVID. Obviously the British are the most vaccinated people in the rock and roll world.
Yes.
So we'll just have to see how that goes in other countries. But yeah, we were definitely planning on doing the Carpe Diem Seize the Day World Tour starting in America.
Excellent. Good. I will be there.
And then rolling back into Europe in the autumn. That was the plan.
Well, when you come to New York or New Jersey, I will be there for that.
I'm sure I'll be there as well. We just have to, you can only plan, you can't.
Got it.
That's the only thing you can do, really.
Yeah.
You can't really, things change. So many plans have changed in the last 2 years.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yep. I want to be respectful to your time. I have one more question for you. You put out a book, 2007. Is there any chance of you updating that? And number two is, have you ever thought of writing a comprehensive Saxon book on your the band's history?
Yeah. I have thought about rewriting the book, adding things to it, bringing it more up to date. Mm-hmm. And we are talking about doing a Saxon sort of biography.
Excellent.
Definitely. We've talked to various people about doing that. I could have done it actually, but I've just been more interested in doing music than doing books. My book should be out there more anyway. It's quite rare.
Yes.
You can buy it on Amazon, but I think you've got to wait quite a while to get it. So I think the publisher must get 100 orders and then print 100 books and send them out. So I don't think there's a great deal of books out there on the shelves, definitely. Okay. And I've been trying to get them to put it on on sort of the sort of platforms where you can read them on your phone, Kindle and things like that, or an audio book. Somebody asked me to do an audio book. But it never came to fruition, if you know what I mean.
I do. Well, Biff, I want to thank you for your time. It's always fascinating to talk with you. One of my favorite bands since as long as I can remember. So I love you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys. Hopefully you can get to come to America as planned.
Yeah, that'd be great. Obviously, we've grown and grown in America over the last 10, 20 years. So we have a great following there now. Yeah. So. We love coming to America. It's great. It's a great place. It's the land of rock and roll, basically.
It is. Well, thank you so much for your time, Biff. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. See you later.
See you later. Have a good night. Bye-bye.